On the last occasion, we talked about Joseph Needham, Dr. PhD, Dr. Joseph Needham, and his work in China. And we can just briefly recap real quick. Joseph Needham, a European, went to China under the political umbrella to help the Chinese in World War II because the Japanese was bombing the cities and all. And he was sent by Winston Churchill to China as an envoy to help the Chinese universities. And while he was there, he was able to amass a lot of books and other materials. Mainly this Chinese encyclopedia was about 8,000 pages. And well, not just one book, but about 500 or 600 or even 800 books that compiled this encyclopedia. And he was able to move this. He was able to move this back to Cambridge University, King's College, where he was a professor. And then over his later years, he was able to extract a lot of material from these Chinese encyclopedias to build his books, the Science and Civilization in China. And so this is where the base material is coming from, and this is where we found the origin of the water shoes. And of course, these are a lot of volumes, like we said before. It's I think it's 20-some volumes, and they're still, the Needham Society is still synthesizing this work, or abstracting this work, or pulling materials out of these volumes of material and other books that Needham picked up when he was in China working with the universities. We found the water shoes in volume 4. Volume 4, book 3. Sometimes they say volume 4, part 3, but volume 4, book 3, page 392. It mentions the water shoes, and it mentions other resources associated with the water shoes, and it mentions some little stories and other things, background of the water shoes, and it mentions other books, Winchester, J.G. Worcester, I think that's his name, who did the junks and sampans of China. The junks and sampans in China, of course, you can pick that book up, or you don't have to buy the book. You can type it in on the internet, and maybe you'll get some abstracts from that. And the same thing with Needham, you can type in his name and you can get some abstracts in that or on that, and we can move right along. There are some more Chinese books that have pictures and drawings and illustrations. Of course, Worcester, J.G. Worcester, I think that's his name. Well, in the books, the sampans and junks of the Yangtze River, I hope I got that right, they got pictures of or drawings of the water shoes in there. And so now we have hard material. We have that. We have Leonardo da Vinci's drawings, which we strongly believe that he copied from some Chinese books that were presented to the Pope and filtered down. And that's from Menzies, and we talked about that. But wherever the source come from, we think this stuff is relatively, of course, we'll look at that more and we'll study that more and we'll get into that, for the academic crowd.